Hi dear student, how are you? Good morning to one and all. Dear student, today we are starting the new unit, that is the straight line, which is related to the coordinate geometry. In previous class you already know some basic concept of the coordinate geometry. So using that basic concept, we can see some properties of the straight line. So let's see. As in previous class, we have also learned about the two-dimensional geometry. The two-dimensional geometry means when we study about the position of any point or any object with respect to two dimensions. Like we are saying in that case, x-axis and y-axis. So in 9th and 10th class you are already familiar with the coordinate geometry. That is the geometry which can explain with the help of coordinate, or you can say algebra as well as geometry. When we combine, it is known as a coordinate geometry. So in that case we see many points or concept in the previous class, like what is the meaning of Cartesian system, coordinate axis, and we also see in 10th class the distance between 2 points, section formula, area of a triangle, and when points are called as collinear, and also we sum through the geometrical properties with the help of coordinate, like the given triangle is a right triangle or not, or given quadrilateral is a square or rhombus. Like that you have to see simple properties with the help of that coordinate geometry. So we can revise here some points. For review we take again that one to fresh up your mind. So as you know that in Cartesian system we are taking x-axis and y-axis, and both will intersect at the point we called as a zero or origin. And we also find the position of any point with respect to origin or in the two-dimensional position. Suppose we are taking a point P with the coordinate 4 and 6. So the 4 and 6, it means the distance of the point A from y-axis is 4 units. Distance of the point A from the y-axis is 4, and distance of this point from x-axis is 6. So coordinate of this point A 4, 6, or in general you write x comma y, where x is the distance of this point P from y-axis and y coordinate represent the distance of this point from the x-axis. Similarly, suppose you take another point B which is lying on x-axis. It means this point is 6 units away from the y-axis with major parallel to x-axis, and their distance from x-axis is 0 because this point lies on x-axis, that is the distance of this point is 0. So in this way one can find the position of the point that already we have seen in the 10th class, how to plot the points in Cartesian system, or how to represent or find out the coordinate of a point. A point is already given in Cartesian system. So dear students, some formulae whatever we see in the derivation for that formula in 10th class, we may review. So first one, as you know that if you want to find the distance between the 2 points P, suppose we are given this point P whose coordinate is x1, y1 and q, x2, y2. So now suppose anyone want to find the distance between these 2 points, then we have to given a formula that is known as a distance formula. So what is the distance formula? So we write PQ equal to root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. So this is known as distance formula. We call this is a distance formula. Suppose if you want to find the distance between the point P, coordinate 6 minus 4 and 3 0. You 3 0. So if we want to find the distance between these 2 points, then this is x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1. So here we can say root of 3 minus 6 whole square, 0 minus minus plus. So we can simplify, this is 3 square 9 plus 4 square 16. So root 25, which is 5 units. So in this way one can find the distance between the 2 points. Similarly, we have also find the coordinate of a point which divide the line joining the given 2 point in the given ratio, that is section formula. One more we have to see. Suppose this is P with x1 y1, this is Q with x2 y2. Now there is a point R whose coordinate we want to find, which divide the PQ in the ratio m1 and 2, or we may call m ratio n. So here R divide PQ into m ratio n. Then what is the coordinate of R? So that we call in that case section formula. So here we can use the coordinate of a point. Second point you write down the coordinate of a point R with dividing the line segment, joining the points P coordinate x1 y1 and Q x2 y2 into internally in the ratio. There may be 2 options we are saying, internally and externally. So suppose we are taking internally in the ratio m ratio n is given by, so coordinate of point R. So already we see formula, this n into x2 plus n into x1, that is x coordinate of R, n into x2 n into x1 upon n plus n. Therefore y coordinate m y2 plus n y1 upon n plus n. So this formula we use and it is called as a section formula. And if you want to find externally divide, then coordinate of R will only sign will change. Here plus convert into minus. So we may write m x2 minus n x1 upon n minus 1 m y2 minus upon n minus n. So in this way we can use this formula. Now one example is also given related to this. For example, the coordinate of points which divide the line segment joining the points. So we are given coordinate of the points 1 minus a and b is given coordinate minus a 9. Now point divide internally in the ratio 1:3. Suppose this point C, whose coordinate we want to find, and it divide internally in the ratio 1:3. Then what will are the coordinate of this point? So what we are given coordinate of A and B. That is, we are given coordinate of point P and Q are given, and ratio is also given. That is M and given, x1 x2 given, y1 y2 given. Then you have to find the coordinate of point C. So what will be the coordinate of point C? Use this formula. That is x coordinate, then we use the x coordinate, y then we use y coordinate of the given 2 points. So 1 into minus a plus 3 into minus 3. 3 into 1 upon sum of the ratios, that is 1 plus 3. X coordinate will be 1 into minus a plus 3 into 1 upon 1 plus 3. So this is the x coordinate. Similarly, y coordinate 1 into y coordinate of this. So 1 into 9 plus 3 into minus 3 upon 1 plus 3. So simplify 3 minus 3 plus 3, that is 0. 0 upon 4, that is 0. So 9 minus 3 minus 9, that is 0. So which is also 0. So that is the origin. So midpoint of the section formula says the coordinate of point C will be 0 0. That is the origin. Or it may be any other point. So in this way we can find the coordinate of point R, which divide the given line in the given ratio. So this formula is known as section formula. And third point is this particular case of this one. If M equal to N, then R is called midpoint of PQ. Now suppose this ratio is equal, M and N both are equal, like 1 1 2 2 3 3. Then we call this point R is the midpoint of P. And we have already discussed the coordinate of the midpoint, that is R is x1 plus x2 by 2 and y1 plus y2 by 2. So this is the formula of midpoint of the given 2 points, or you can say it is the midpoint of the line segment joining the given 2 points in equal ratio. Here part of the ratio are equal 1 1 or 2 2. So in this way one can find the midpoint. Now we find the area of the triangle. Fourth, area of the triangle with vertices. Coordinate of vertices of triangle are given as A x1 y1, B x2 y2 and C x3 y3. So we use the formula area equal to 1 by 2 mod of the value inside the mod, that may be positive negative, but we have to convert. So x1 y2 minus y3, x2 y3 minus y1, x3 y1 minus y2. So this is the formula for finding the area of triangle. X1 y2 minus y3 plus x2 y3 minus y1 x3 y1 minus y3. So by using this we can say we find the area. Now one more condition we have discussed in point 5. If area equal to 0, then the points are collinear. So this is also condition for collinearity of the 2 points. So we can say 3 points are collinear if the area formed by the triangle with that point is equal to 0. So we can say these points lie on the same line or they are collinear. So dear student, in this chapter we shall continue the study of the coordinates. Up to this we are already know in 10th class. Last topic was our how to find the area of the triangle or how to prove the points are collinear with the help of area of a triangle. Now we extend our study with this topic, or after that we continue our study, and that we have to see simplest geometrical figure, that is line. So what is the line? In language of the coordinate geometry, we learn some property of the straight line. The line is a vital concept of the geometry and entries into our daily experience in numerous interesting and useful ways. We are seeing about the line so many things. So main focus is on our representing the line algebraically, for which we need the slope of the line. So how can we define the slope of line, that we have to see. So we discuss what we mean by slope of a line. So a line in coordinate plane form two angles. Suppose in this coordinate system, if we are given a line which is intersecting x-axis at any point, suppose it intersecting in this way. So there are two angles, or this line makes two angles with the x-axis in the anti-clockwise direction. Suppose this is theta. This line makes angle theta with the x-axis, and remaining angle of this supplementary to this one, 180 minus theta. So there are two angles. So we can say a line in a coordinate plane forms two angles with the x-axis which are supplementary. The angle theta made by the line L with positive direction. So write down the definition. The angle, you may say theta. We denoted it by the theta made by the line, L. This is our line L. Yes? With positive direction, of x-axis, positive direction of x-axis means we are moving in this way, anti-clockwise direction, and major anti-clockwise direction, is called the inclination of line. This is the definition of inclination. Is called the inclination of the line. Called the inclination of the line. So inclination of a line, that is theta. So what is the definition of theta? We can say the angle formed by the line with the positive direction of the x-axis and major anti-clockwise direction is called the inclination of the line. At what angle it is inclined, that is known as inclination. either 90, 0, this. What is the inclination? That is known as theta. So we know that this theta may be greater than equal to 0 or less than equal to 180. Like any line may be, suppose this is x-axis, line may be coincide with the x-axis, it may be 30 degrees, 60 degrees, 90, 120 or it may be 180. So theta may be inclined or inclination may be lies between 0 to 180 degree for any line. So we observe that line is parallel to x-axis. Now suppose any line which is parallel to x-axis, suppose we can say coincide with this, parallel to this, either above the line, origin or below the origin. This is our position of the line. Line may be lying on. So whatever inclination is there, here inclination is 0. Angle between x-axis and y-axis is 0. Angle between x-axis and y-axis is 0 because they have no. So when L is parallel to x, theta equal to 0. So this point says the line parallel to x-axis or coinciding with the x-axis. Line may be parallel to x-axis or it may be coincide with the x-axis. The inclination will be 0. Inclination is theta. That definition we already give. Clear? The inclination of a vertical line or parallel to. Now third condition. When any line is perpendicular to x-axis like this or parallel to y-axis or coincide with the y-axis. When the line is parallel to y-axis, coincide with the y-axis, the inclination is theta equal to 90 degree, or we may call this is the vertical line. Vertical line. So inclination of the vertical line will be always 90 degree, and these all are horizontal line. Horizontal line inclination is 0 and slanting line, L here is called as slanting line, their theta is neither 0 nor 90 degree. So these are the some different position of the line with respect to the x. Now we see the definition for the slope of a line. So if theta is the inclination of line, then if theta is the inclination of a line, then tan theta is called the value of tan theta. Tan theta is called the slope, of the line or gradient. Gradient of the line. So what is the definition of the slope of the line? Slope of the line is defined as tan theta, where theta is the inclination of the line with positive direction of the x-axis measured anti-clockwise direction. So we represent slope of a line by m. M indicate here slope of the line, and formula of the slope of line, that is tan theta. What is the value of tan theta? So tan we already know, tangents of the theta perpendicular upon base. So that will give you this. At theta the inclination made by the line. Now suppose if you are taking the slope of the line whose inclination is 90 degrees. Theta equal to 90 degrees. Then what is the slope of this line? Put the value here. Tan 90. And you know that tan 90 is not defined. So we can say the slope of a line whose inclination is 90 degree is not defined. So 90 degree means the line is perpendicular to the x-axis. So when lines are perpendicular to x-axis, the slope of the line is not defined. Similarly, when theta equal to 0, then m will be value of tan 0 is 0. So the slope of the line when inclination is 0 degree, that will be 0. So inclination is 0, that slope will be 0. So we can represent slope of a line by m. Clear? So it may be, now if you any want to say what is the slope of the x-axis itself, slope of the x-axis. So when x-axis method with the x-axis means theta equal to 0, any line which lies on this, then theta equal to 0. So we can say slope of the y-axis will be always 0. Because tan 0 is 0. And similarly say what is the slope of y-axis? Slope of the y-axis. So inclination between the x-axis and y, that is 90. We already know that y-axis is always perpendicular to the x-axis. That's why one can say theta is 90. So the slope of that axis is not defined. So we write here slope of the x-axis is 0 and the slope of the y-axis is not defined. So in this way one can find the slope. Now we see slope of a line when coordinate of any 2 point is given. Slope of a line when coordinates of 2 points are given. Now how to find the slope of a line when we are given that line is passing through the 2 points, like this is x and this is y. So here in previous definition we find the slope of line when we are given theta. If theta means the inclination with the x-axis given, then we can find slope m equal to tan theta. But we are not given suppose theta, and if we are given 2 points from which the line is passing like this. Suppose this is P with the x1 y1. Q is given x to y. Then what will be the slope of this line? So suppose we can consider this line make inclination with the x-axis is theta. So let inclination of L is theta, and points P1 or P with the coordinate x1 y1 and Q with the x2 y2 are given. Now we draw perpendiculars PM and QR on x-axis. Suppose we are drawing the perpendiculars from these 2 points on x-axis PM and QR. Also we draw perpendicular from P. Also we draw PS perpendicular on QR. Dear students, see here, these are perpendicular. So we can say this line is parallel to this line and this line is parallel to x-axis. Clear? So this line is parallel to x-axis and we are saying this L work as a transversal line. These two lines are parallel and this is transversal line. So these two angles are equal because these are the corresponding angles. Clear? If these two lines are parallel, then these two angles will be worked as a corresponding angles. Clear? Now in this triangle, if you see, in triangle PQS, as we know that slope of line, by our definition, what is the meaning of slope of line? M equal to tan theta, because theta we are supposing here. So in this triangle, what is the value of tan theta? Tan theta is perpendicular upon base. So what is this angle is 90. This is theta, then this is a perpendicular and this is base. Clear? So we can say this is perpendicular means QS, base means PS. So as in 10th class, we find the measurements of the side QS can be written as QR minus SR. Now QR y2 SR equal to PM equal to Y1. So QS can be written as Y2 minus Y1. Similarly, we can write PS, that is equal to MR. PS equal to MR, or MR can be written as OR minus OM. OR X2, OM X1. So we get the value of tan theta. So tan theta is what? Y2 minus Y1 upon X2 minus X1. So in this way, one can find the values of tan theta, and that is the slope of the line. So dear student, one may find the slope of the line when we are given the coordinates of the 2 points on the line. So write down this formula for slope of a line when coordinate of any 2 points are given. Clear? So what is the formula we get finally? M y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus. This will give you the slope of a line which is passing through the 2 points. Clear? Next condition we say, that is very important, the condition for parallelism and perpendicular of line in terms of their slopes. So what is the condition for parallel and perpendicular of lines? When we call two lines are perpendicular or they are parallel. So suppose we are considering a line in a coordinate plane. Suppose the non-vertical line, we are taking two non-vertical lines. This is L1 and this is L2. So both lines are parallel. Then what will be the condition? in terms of their slope. So if the line L1 parallel to L2, now inclination of the line you can take for L1 this is alpha and this is beta. For L1 theta equal to, for L2 theta equal to beta, means slope of the first line tan theta, that is tan alpha. Slope of the second line, that is tan theta, we say tan beta. So this condition is given. Now we know that if line L1 parallel to L2. So we know that in geometry previous class, if two lines are parallel, then these were the corresponding angles. So if lines are parallel, then their corresponding angles are equal. If alpha equal to beta, then their tan is also equal. So tan alpha equal to tan beta. Taking tan on both sides. So tan alpha means slope of the first line. Tan beta means this. So what we prove? Slopes of the lines are equal. Clear? In this way, one can find the condition. Next we see perpendicular condition. Now condition for perpendicular we see. This is for parallel. Now if two lines are perpendicular, then what will be the condition in terms of slope? So parallel we see. So we can say if the line L1 is perpendicular to the line L2. This is x-axis, this is y-axis. Now line L1 and L2 are perpendicular. This is suppose L2, this is L1. Perpendicular means this angle is 90 degree. So suppose this line L1 form inclination alpha, L2 form beta. Clear? So we can say value of tan alpha, M1 slope of the first line tan alpha, M2 slope of the second line tan beta. Now see tan beta can be also written as, from this triangle of this, see this is exterior angle to this triangle. And this angle is 90. So beta can be written as 90 plus alpha. 90 plus alpha, exterior angles property. Exterior angle property what say? Value of beta will be sum of opposite two interior angles. So we know in third chapter coordinate trigonometry geometry, tan 90 minus theta equal to minus cot theta. Theta means here alpha. Tan 90 plus theta equal to minus cot theta. So value of tan beta can be written as minus cot alpha. Or you can write minus 1 upon tan alpha, which is the value of tan alpha, M1. So what we prove? M1 tan alpha, M2 tan beta, then tan of beta means 90 plus alpha, then minus cot alpha. So minus 1 upon M1. Clear? So one can find the values of, so therefore we can write M2 equal to tan beta, this value equal to minus 1 upon M1. So cross multiply M1 into M2 equal to minus 1. अच्छा सच्ची नहीं है यार, अभी 11 बजे 12 बजे ध्यान देना, अभी 11 बजे किसकी, अरे मैंने कहा 12 बजे भूल गया। So see here M2 equal to minus 1 1 upon m1. So cross multiply, we get this condition. What is the condition? Product of the slopes is always equal to 1. So dear student, we get two important conditions. First one is the condition that if two lines are parallel, then their slope are equal. That is m1 equal to m2 or vice versa. If the slope of the two lines are equal, then the lines are parallel. Secondary condition we see, if two lines are perpendicular, then the product of their slope is always equal to -1 or vice versa. If the product of the slope of the two lines is always -1, the lines are perpendicular. So this is all about today's class. So thanks for watching, dear student. To be continued with us for the next topic. Have a nice day.